Hello everyone, I'm Wasmatic and welcome to my first character build guide for the game of Fallout 4. It's been out about 4 days. If you haven't played it and you like RPGs like me, then you've got to get this game. So far it is absolutely fantastic. This first guide, I'm going to keep it very short. I'm literally going to just talk about what are the core attributes that you need to consider when you're building your character. Rule number 1, if I could give you one piece of advice if you haven't played this game before, make sure you plan your character before you start playing. It's really important. At the very first part of the game, before you get into any combat, you are asked to set your character attributes. If you haven't studied what they are, if you haven't studied what that gives you access to, and if you haven't studied how it affects your overall character feel and build, then you need to go away and read it. I would suggest go to Google and look for the Fallout 4 character perk chart. That will give you everything you need to know. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to dive into that character perk chart straight away and have a look through it. First point, your character's core attributes, which is define who your character is. So if you had to have a general physiology and personality, your special here on the screen, your specials, that's what they are. So you have strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility and luck. Each of these points not only sets your character's attributes, so improves their hit point pool, or improves their ability to sneak, or improves their ability to gain critical hit damage faster, it also gives access to higher levels of perks, and you'll see what I mean when I come on to that. So this is your perk chart, and there's 10 layers beneath each of these special attributes at the top. So if you want to gain access to a rank 10 perk, Pain Train in strength, you need 10 points in strength. Now I have tested this. You can't start off with 5 points in strength and then gain armor, which gives you +1 or +5 up to +5 to get access to rank 10. It only lets you access the perks that you have in your core attribute pool. So if you start off by putting 5 points into strength and you don't put any more points into strength for the rest of the game, you will only ever be able to access as far as heavy gunner. Now you can go straight into heavy gunner. So if you start the game and you put 5 points into strength because you know you're going to play a tank who uses heavy weapons, your first level, as soon as you level up, you can put a point into heavy gunner. So bear that in mind. So have a look at this perk chart, look down and think, what sort of character do I want to build? Me, for example, I am playing a sneaky assassin character that uses ranged weapons and also does some crafting. So I've put points into intelligence to give me access to weapon crafting, to hacking so I can sneak around and steal stuff. Scrapper, that gives me access to more materials for my crafting. And I will be putting points into robotics as well. I might consider energy weapons, I'm not sure yet. Agility, for example, I knew because my character was a stealthy thief, assassin type character, I knew I needed, using ranged weapons, I knew I needed to get down as far as rank 10. So where you see there, where anything's greyed out, that means it's not accessible to you. Where you can see the picture, that means it's accessible to you. So I have 10 points in agility, which gives me, if I want it, access to gun fu. I'm not actually doing that at the outset because I wanted to get my sneak first. Then I'm going for my weapon damage for pistols, and over here in perception, my weapon damage for rifles. I did put a point into pickpocket and I made a mistake there, so if you're planning on playing a thief, my advice is get sneak as high as possible first. Don't consider putting points into pickpocket there until you've got your sneak as high as you feel comfortable, because it's very difficult to not be detected when you get close to somebody in this game. Enemies, it's difficult. NPCs, I get caught probably more times than I don't, and then the whole town turn against you, and then you're a very bad man. So the first point to note, make sure you know what your character build is going to be. So if you're going to be a tank, for example, you know you will want points in endurance. That's the first rule. Understand your specials, understand the perks, and then you can build how many points when you leave the vault you will need so you can access the build that you want. Now I will say that as you level up you get points to spend. You can put these points into increasing your core stats. I haven't yet. I will be putting some into strength because I'd like to get to armour, and I will probably put some more into perception, I think, because I want access to where is it? Sniper there. And yeah, so there you go. So let me just run through quickly what the core attributes are, and then I'll finish this video. I will at some point over the weekend probably make another video about my first build, which is a sneaky thief, hacker, lockpicker, and all-round stealthy nasty guy. So here we go. Strength, pretty basic. It affects how much melee damage you do, either with your fists or with melee weapons. It also affects how many items you can carry. If you're playing a crafter in this game, you will need to gather lots and lots of, in the early stages anyway, you will need to gather an awful lot of items. So strength could be important unless you're taking, if you go for armourer as well, you can craft armour which increases your carrying capacity. But strength really important. If you're going to play a melee tank, that's a must. Well, if you're just going to play a melee character, strength's really important, even if it's an assassin. Perception, this is your ability. This increases your weapon accuracy in VATS. If you haven't played any of the Fallout games before, VATS is the Vault Assisted Targeting System, and it's a function in combat which gives you an ability to create a slow-mo and target body parts. So you can target the most vulnerable body parts, be that a headshot, a left leg, a right arm, or a left arm. It increases your accuracy. Now I found, because I haven't put that many points in perception, my accuracy in VATS isn't that great, so I need to consider putting some more points in perception. So that's perception. Endurance, this is a measure of your overall physical fitness, so this affects your hit point pool. So again, if you're playing a tank character, you need to consider very carefully endurance. Regardless of whether it's a melee tank or a ranged weapons tank or a heavy weapons tank, endurance affects your hit point pool. Your action pool also, it does two things. It enables you to sprint for longer, so the bigger the pool, the longer you can sprint for, but it also increases the number of shots you can fire or combat actions you can take in the Vault Assisted Targeting System. So if you're going to be using the VATS a lot, you need to consider your endurance. Endurance also gives you access to damage mitigation and damage resistance as well. I'm not going to go into the detail of the perks in this video. Charisma, this is very similar to the speech attribute in Skyrim, if you ever played that. So charisma gives you the ability to influence both enemies and NPCs in the game. It gives you access to better prices at vendors, and it gives you dialogue options in conversation, so your chances to influence through dialogue is increased by putting points into charisma. Now you have to put points into these perks to enable that, but putting points in, I've only 1 point here, but putting more points into charisma increases your chances and things like dialogue options. Intelligence, this is the more intelligence you have in your character, the faster you will gain experience, and the more experience you'll gain. It also gives you access further down the tree. So if you want to play a weapon crafter, a hacker, that will give you all the abilities. So you can see here also it affects how much your stim packs, your health packs, heal. It gives you access to things like hacking. If you're going to play a crafter, scrapper is really important. So to enable you to not need to carry so many items, you can get access to some really rare components. Difficult things to find are adhesive, screws, radiation material, radioactive material. So there you go. So intelligence is part crafting, part about gaining experience faster. Agility, this is the attribute that I'm using the most for my sneaky character, and if you're going to play a sneaky thief or a sneaky assassin, you need to consider putting points into agility as your first priority. I put 10 points into agility because I know I needed the rank 10 attribute. So it basically affects the number of action points you have, and it also increases your ability to sneak. Now I have 10 points in agility, and I have also put where is it? There. I have also had a 40% increase in my detection, the ability for people to detect me, and I still get detected. I have found some armor modifications which improve your ability to sneak. But if you're going to be a sneaky character, I would seriously consider putting 10 points into agility. You'll notice there that for me to be able to get the next level, I need to get to rank 23. So there are constraints. You can't just put 5 points straight into sneak. You need to be able to level up first. So that's why I made a mistake on my build, because I put a point in pickpocket, and I can't really sneak up on too many people to pickpocket them at the moment. So agility is really important. The other thing that agility enables you to do is it increases your action points, which therefore means you can fire more shots in your Volt's assisted targeting system. Anyway, so that's agility. Finally, we come to luck. This has gone on longer than I thought, but there you go. Luck is a measure of your general good fortune, so there's an element of random number generation in there. It increases the recharge rate of your critical hits. So when you're using your Volt's assisted targeting system, every basic shot that you fire charges up a meter, which enables you to take a critical hit. Now, the critical hits in this game are enormous, so they're really important to have. So I need to put some more points into luck. I think I have 5 at the moment. 3. Okay, so I'd like to put some more points in there if possible. Critical hits are really good. It also affects things like your ability to find ammunition. I'm finding with the weapons that I use, ammunition is very scarce and I'm having to buy a lot, so it's worth considering if you're going to use ranged weapons. If you're using melee, you don't need it. And so the other element is the fortune finder, so you can put points in that, but it's very much about RNG. It's giving you the ability to improve your chances of lucky things happening in the game. So to give you an example, here's Mysterious Stranger. So apparently this perk will enable you to somebody will just suddenly appear, a mysterious stranger will just suddenly appear on a random basis and help you out in combat. There you go. So you can see it's RNG. There are elements of this which are like Bloody Mess, which give you a permanent fixed non-RNG element. So ladies and gentlemen, that is basically my guide to planning your character. Know what you want to play before you start the game. Know how you're going to build it. So if you're going to be a crafter, let's say you want to craft everything in the game, you will need to be able to go to science at least, and chemist. No, sorry, you'll need to go to science, which is rank 6 in intelligence. You will need to get to rank 4 in strength as well. So if you want to be able to craft everything, you're looking at having to put points. Oh, and also you'll need rank 6 in local leader if you want to craft your own vendors and your own workstations. So these are the constraints on the game. Like many other games, you are limited and you can't do everything you want to do, so you have to be very, very focused about what you want to achieve. So that's my guide. I really hope you like it. I have been playing the game now since launch, all day, every day, since it's felt like the last 4 days it came out. I can only say that if you like RPG games and you like the Fallout series, it's great. I really love it. So there you go. I hope this basic starter guide has been useful. The next video I do will look at my character as this character that I'm playing at the moment. As I've said, it's a stealthy assassin type character using ranged weapons and doing a bit of crafting. Thank you very much. I know it's been 13 minutes of me waffling, but I hope it's been useful. For those of you who haven't played the game yet, this should really set the stall out for what you need to do before you start playing. As ever, if you like the video, drop me a comment below, tell me what you like about it. If you've got any constructive feedback about more you'd like to see in the videos, I'd like to see that too. And as everyone says on YouTube, smash that like button. I think you just love that phrase. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Cheers guys. Bye.